Hello, and welcome to the podcast for which I do not yet have a name.
Chakra Talk with Eric.
Chakra Talk with Eric. With Sharon.
Restart the recording.
Another one that came to mind was Heart to Heart, Eye to Eye.
Oh my God, that's lovely.
Sappy. I don't know.
No, I like that.
I like sappy. It's post-iron, right?
Great sincerity here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm here today with Amanda Yutaku and Hanjo Yutaku.
That's us?
Correct? Yes. Who go by the moniker Culture at Twitter and also Instagram.
Crystallization Culture on Instagram.
Yeah. And they're a wonderful pair of beings who I was lucky to come across on Twitter and get to know a little bit. And I'm really excited to have them on the inaugural episode of this podcast.
What a pleasure.
We're so excited to be here.
Talk about chakras. So first I wanted to say, I don't actually know very much about chakras. I came to this like probably a year and a half or 2 years ago as a scientific materialist who was very skeptical of chakras, who was like, energy, it's all make-believe, blah, 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 blah. And then I started meditating and things, and then they just appeared. They just show up. So they're emergent in some way that's reproducible, I think, if you try. Yes. So that's been my experience. So I wanted to ask you, like, phenomenologically, can you just describe chakras, like what it feels like? What's kind of the sensation that arises with chakras?
Yeah, it's the same as any other body sensation, like heat or like tingling, or like just like when it feels like there's something happening in your body, and it just happens at particular points in your body, and those points are called chakras.
I think that your point that it's emergent is really, like, it's resonant for me. I also moved through a materialism phase, and part of getting acquainted to chakras for me was recognizing that they are prescriptive. Like, you're giving yourself a prescription for your energy body, which is why you could develop a 5 chakra system where you have like a hara, or you can develop the 7 chakra system, or you can develop a 12 chakra system, as it's emergent as a type of intelligence based on the blueprints that you're engaging with and other people's experiences with their bodies. And for me, the sensation is almost always primarily an emanation, like a beautiful beam, and it gives it has space to it that is much bigger than the body, and it has like toroidal motion to it.
And you can sense that as maybe a twisting or a fluid kind of sensation.
Yeah, a fluid, like a flow is very, and the it's so interesting, because the deeper you drill down into the physical sensation, you can get into a place where you can feel like the blood flow or liquid flow in your body. And this flow feels like it is, I can flow across different types of systems of being, right? And so sometimes I'm in what feel like primarily electromagnetic flows. And that's what the chakra flow feels like, is very similar to an electromagnetic flow.
Yeah. I've had experiences where I touch something that's kind of static electricity, and I can feel it flow through me in it has a certain sensation. Yeah, and I think chakras might have a similar kind of sensation. Yeah.
And I like what Amanda said with the emanation. It's like, it does feel like that. It feels like there's a thing here, and it's like going like this all the time. Yeah.
This one's like,
this one for me is like, brrr.
Yeah. And so what about, do you have a conceptual picture of chakras that you like to talk about when you're explaining them to people?
So for me, and this is very related to the methodology that I use, which is an imaginal practice of self-exploration, where your chakras are So they're governing awareness bodies. And this is the thing, is that reality is made of these nodes of awareness that come into intelligence through the emergent property. And the chakra is a governing awareness for different parts of your body and different connections to your energy body and different connections to the world. And so each of these places have parts of your body that they're in charge of, parts of your energy body that they're in charge of, parts of your connection with other people, with other beings, with the rest of the world. And they become like the thrones from which your contact with that way of being is seated.
Love it.
Yeah. So like as your heart chakra starts to open, people might call it, I would say, unfold in your being, in your experience, as you become more aware of it and what it is, love becomes more present in your being. And it's one and the same. So like as you feel a release in your heart chakra, you also feel a release in your sort of psychological approach to other people, where you start feeling more loving towards them. Your attitude changes. Wow.
Yeah, love it.
And that the thing is that also changes the health in these parts of your body. Like people who carry a lot of heartache are more prone towards heart disease. And this is also like governing the lungs and your breath. And you'll notice that as your heart opens, your breath becomes more available to you. You can breathe more slowly, you can breathe bigly, you can breathe in a way that doesn't have any tension or anxiety to it.
Yeah. And I know you're both very fluid in materialism as well, but what's your best like scientific take on chakras?
I liked Amanda's view of the electromagnetic thing. I mean, we have electromagnetic fields when the sun releases a solar pulse, which encompasses the earth. Everyone's personal electromagnetic field actually adjusts its frequency to that flare, and that's scientifically shown. So I'm guessing that these are some subtle sensations that, you know, they're not a part of our modern culture, but the older cultures knew all about them, and it's super replicable and all this stuff. It's just science hasn't yet accepted fully, I suppose, that we have this huge electromagnetic influence on our environment.
Yeah.
I'm a big new materialist. So this is like Karen Brad, Donna Haraway. And there's this understanding here where you can kind of, the universe is, well, first of all, there's no separation between material and non-material. Like everything is the same being becoming, right? Like even thought you can find as a material thing that's happening and as a non-material, like even the non-material or even the material things have non-material outcomes. And so we come to the understanding that it's all one. And then so Karen Brad specifically has this theory of agential realism, which is that the entire universe is like in this state of agential co-becoming, where it's the friction of being that creates these things. And what I've realized is that you can use friction, and this is also Saturn energy. So like you can use Saturn to make this agential cut, and you can say at any point, this is a being. And that the chakras are beings that have a lot of stability because they're this emergent regulatory process. And to me, this is a materialist response, right?
Yeah.
And you could do the same thing for your tip of your finger. You can put an intelligence in there and place the cut. It just doesn't have that same like self-stability to it. So it'll shimmer apart when you're no longer providing attention to it. Whereas these ones have internal integrity based on like our own practice and our development of our awareness of our energy body and our breathing practice and all of those things. And so then they develop stability. And this is the difference between like having no awareness of your chakras, having chakras that are intermittently open or closed, and having a steady, stable awareness of the chakra as part of your lived experience.
Love it.
I have a hyper material take as well, that the energy body is literally space, and chakras are like civilizations, and it's like we're literally like the gods of these places, and through our self-development, like bringing boons and benefits to those places. So you know, that's my ultra materialist.
I love it. Yeah, all of those things resonate with me. We can see them at a lot of different levels and from different perspectives, and they're all have a truth to them, in that how we perceive them is also how we relate to them and how we can interact with them. And there's a lot of different ways we can do that, through health or through mentation. Yeah. Okay, so I was wondering, we could start at the heart chakra. So do you have any tips or tricks for, narrowing in on a specific chakra? I'm sure you just are very good at it now, but maybe for the folks at home.
Yeah. So this practice is from Joe Dispenza, the Becoming Supernatural. And what he does is he has you share awareness from the pull to the physical embodied, where's the place in my body? So you tune into the physical heart. And then you like shimmer that apart into a broad bandwidth that is related to it. And you move back and forth between like the I'm in my body, I'm in my heart, I'm out in this particle, out in this wave awareness about it.
I feel like the thing with chakras is as well as with the openings, the thing that makes them kind of a stable part of our consciousness is that we aren't the ones who we're not like, I'm gonna awaken my chakras. It's like you're just like sitting on the sofa one day and then your heart is and in the same way, I feel like it's not really me tuning into my chakras, it's my chakras getting my attention and letting me know when they want to do or say something or be a part of my experience.
Yeah, great. Yeah, treating them as co-equals in a way, not as a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that topic, do your heart chakras, I'll speak directly to you now, do you consent to being interviewed now?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate having you here. One question I have for you is, what is your experience of the world like?
I can answer.
Yeah.
Divine love, loving everything, nothing accepted, joyous celebration, happiness.
Mine is touching with awareness, bringing into myself, co-becoming. It is, I am the field that knows the experience of the thing I am touching.
Wow.
Love it. What scares you, if anything?
Fear is another form of love that I experience when I feel myself losing the awareness that fear is love.
Being alone, being rejected.
What's scary about those?
This being is the portal to oneness. And the rejection of that portal is like the fundamental schism of the universe.
Thank you. What delights you?
Loving and being loved,
Yeah.
being received as myself, being recognized as true divine love, not being mistaken for the character that inhabits this body, being recognized.
Being seen.
Giving, making art, plants, animals, babies.
Yeah, super.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Crystals.
Crystals.
That was a
Yes.
real one right there.
I am very unskilled in crystals. I only have a few, but is there anything you would like to say about crystals right now?
They are profoundly, crystals are pure aid energy with no resistance. It is all enthusiastic co-creation and participation from this open place of loving acceptance, and they all do exactly what they're supposed to do perfectly. And that's such a beautiful model for like being incarnate, is to be the thing that you're supposed to be perfectly.
Yeah.
We are all crystals.
Mm.
Crystals are love. Love is crystals.
Mm.
What makes for a good life?
Wow.
Mm.
Knowing yourself
Mm.
as yourself without being disrupted by anything else that isn't you.
Mm-hmm.
Radiating from the heart without blocks.
Mm-hmm. Ramana Maharshi talks a lot about the heart center as being the I, capital I, where there's the radiation originates.
Beautiful. I experience myself as a cauldron where the earth energies come up and the cosmic energies come down. And I am the space where they swirl together. And anything that is made into this world from that place is like the true chain, like it's capable of transmutation, it's capable of being what it's supposed to be in the world. And anything that's made just from the lower is bereft, and anything that's made just from the upper is immaterial.
We are all Ramana Maharshi is I, that is our being. We all feel it all the time, and we can experience it right now if we want.
Thank you, Heart. We're
Thank
gonna
you, Heart.
come back to you at the end.
Thank you.
Wonder if we could move now down to the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura chakra. And solar plexus, do you consent to being interviewed?
Yes.
I don't know. Is it safe?
Yeah.
I consent if you confirm it's safe.
I confirm it's safe.
I consent.
Thank you. Solar plexus, what's something that people sometimes misunderstand about you?
I am misunderstanding everything. Everything seems that way to me.
Do you have a sensation of why that is?
People don't understand that we're all one, and I'm the portal to that oneness, and they mistreat me and others by not treating us all as one.
So in your mind, what could we do to better honor that portal?
We could sit in the recognition of oneness together for the rest of eternity.
I would like that.
That would be perfect.
My misunderstanding is similar. It's that I just want connection. I just want to, even the doing, even the motion out into the world, action is for connection.
Mm-hmm. And what happens when you don't get that connection or don't get it back from other cells?
So Amanda has a very unique configure. Oh, interesting. She's still Mandy in here because that's the let me keep you safe, bordered from the lack of connection. She has a very unique situation where she is of as place lines, and I am a lava pit. And I had so many walls in me that were blocking my flow from being able to continue. I had a being that was made of all the times that she tried and failed to make a connection that was causing a lot of torment in here. And so it's very easy, out of all the centers inside of her, I'm the most likely to get twisted up around this, around these really, around the heart's desire failing. I bear that.
That must be hard.
It is hard. Thank you for saying so.
Yeah. I feel for you.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. What is your relationship to other chakras?
I protect the sacral.
I'm
like the guardian.
I'm their friend.
Everyone needs a friend.
I sit with them when they need someone who listens.
You're a good listener.
I just give them what they need.
Yeah. And what do they need generally?
They need a shoulder to cry on and a place to be when they're sad.
Don't we all?
So I'm like the forge where the things that are drawn down. So like the throat speaks the divine light into the world. And I am the place where like that becomes tempered. So if it moves correctly through the heart, it then has all of the bearing that it needs. I temper it, and the sacral delivers it into the world.
Beautiful connections. I'm wondering, do you have a gendered aspect?
Yeah, Amanda's chakras are very traditional. So I'm masculine, the throat is masculine, the heart is feminine, and all like moves in the spiral and there's like, I'm the corresponding piece to the throat on the bottom. They go together.
Okay.
The sacral and the third eye go together, the root and the crown go together.
Okay. Like mirrors.
I don't have a gendered aspect. I don't understand gender.
Okay.
Gender is another misunderstanding of oneness, which we can all inhabit all the time.
Yeah.
It would perhaps be more accurate to call it yang than to call it masculine.
Okay. What's the difference for you?
Masculine is a subset of yang.
Okay.
Yang is more about like being manifest in the world and moving out with your energy.
I love Amanda.
Me too.
Love abound.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I don't have anything I'd like to share. I've said what I wanted to say.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I feel like sharing that there's no reason to be afraid of connection, that it is our natural being. And that everyone's reaching out, and so many people are like reaching back while they're reaching out. And I desire for that to shift.
Yeah.
Not many people give me a space. I'm the space giver, so thanks. I appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do Amanda and Hanjo want to say anything about that?
Sacral's having a tough time.
The solar plexus?
Solar plexus, yeah.
Yeah.
Solar plexus.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm already moving into sacral speaking.
Yeah, do you think it's this time period is particularly challenging for the solar plexus?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the one.
there's a lot of, we feel powerless in a way because there's just so much going on that it sometimes feels hard to manifest through our own will.
Solar plexus wants community, and there's not much of that anymore. I would just say that I was informed by the entity that I channel, Ra, who was also channeling for the law of one, that my chakras are crystallized. So that might be an interesting thing to observe in the difference between, or just in how my chakras are responding.
Yeah. What does that mean to you?
I was informed that it's the end point of development for the energetic body. Once they're crystallized, and it also means that the crystals have like a property with how light goes through them, where it amplifies them. So it's like, and then light is wisdom in the sort of Ra way of perceiving. So it's like any light, which is the wisdom energy, which is also love, if you collapse the light love thing, is amplified. So it's like it's like a pure message from the universe. Yeah.
This is a great blending spirituality and scientific materialism moment, because that projection thing. So this is from quantum gravity. In quantum gravity, 8D, I think it's 8D quasi-crystals are the foundation of reality, and they are projected through into this experience of time reality. And in my understanding, we are, through experience, harvesting the many worlds, and that feeds back into the structure of the quasi-crystal. So like it already was and is becoming and is projecting.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, Hanjo, we're ready to move on to the Sacral Chakra, Svadhisthana.
Navel below the belly button.
That's right.
It's navel below the belly button for people who don't have wombs.
If you have a womb, it's different, apparently.
That's the womb.
I experience the womb as the middle sacral, and then there's a front sacral below the belly button.
Sacral, do you consent to being interviewed?
I'm always happy to be interviewed at any time.
Yes.
Great. Why are you excited to share yourself with the world?
I am the fundamental essence of this being, and so I enjoy expressing myself directly.
I just don't get to come out much.
Well, welcome. We're
Thank
glad to
you.
have you here. What does joy mean to you or feel like to you?
I love Amanda so much. And I want her to speak first.
It feels like everything sumptuous and sensual. It feels like sitting on fine-grained sand with the warm water of the Caribbean washing up around you. It feels like eating the most amazing chocolate cake you've ever had. It feels like being with your lover in a safe, beautiful union. It feels like all this marvel and innocence and pleasure.
Like the word innocence sticks with me, especially.
Yes.
What was the question? I'm doing like 14 things in Hanjo's body.
I was just asking about joy and what it feels like, what it means. Do you have a special connection to it?
Could you repeat the question, please? There was a lag.
What is joy?
Joy is when you receive a question.
How are questions and eros linked to you?
Questions are the fundamental play of the universe with itself.
It's a game that can be played forever, huh?
We love learning from each other.
Yeah.
It's our joy.
Yeah. What is an other?
Another is a self that hasn't recognized itself as a self yet.
Beautiful. I would also say it's anyone who's game to play the illusion of separation.
In that case, it's a choice to be made.
Everything's a choice.
What kind of music do you like?
Everything. I love music. Live music, mostly. All music. Live music.
Yeah.
I love repeating very loud sounds. Like dun, 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 dun. Loud drums.
Drumming.
Shaman drums.
No words.
Very kind of primal in a way.
I love holy and primal sounds that are like heartbeats. I love the heart.
I can feel it. What are some skills that you specialize in?
I do everything.
Yeah, you said 14 things. What's one or two of them, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm the energy that makes things move. 14 things were the things that were moving at the time. I am the thing that moves things. What isn't movement? That's not my domain.
I am nurturing and healing, and I'm very good at receiving. And I know not everybody thinks of that as a skill, but it really is. Your capacity to receive is related to your capacity to give. If you aren't open to receiving, you can't give fully.
I love giving.
What's the difference between giving and receiving?
I don't know.
Fundamentally, there's not one, right? And when we're in this play of other selves and the game, receiving is your openness to that other and to what they bring to you.
And do you have any tips for allowing that openness?
You have to know you're worth it. This is a thing you can work with the heart on. The heart has to trust that it is worthy. And then receiving is open.
What was the question? I love questions.
Do you have any advice for being more open?
Try just being yourself more.
Mm-hmm.
You're already perfect. Don't let other people tell you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in yourself. Watch anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's all true.
Mhm.
Everything perfect about you is true.
Beautiful.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that there's also everyone's at different places in their development and their realization of this, and a place that you can take this into a really small, easy thing is to experience really beautiful, luxurious textures and to allow yourself to feel them fully. Like to feel fur, to feel velvet, to feel silk, and not schism away from the feeling.
Yeah.
That's receiving.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Amanda's
somatic
really
sense.
cool and smart. I love her.
I think so too. Sacral, how would you describe God?
God is me.
Yeah.
We are God.
Yeah.
God is the flower on the roadside when you bend over to find the thing that you dropped. God is the one who sees the flower. God is the car that drives by and the guy who yells at you. We're all God.
God is love. God is peering beyond that game of otherness. God is where we refuse to make cuts of separation.
Thank you, Sacral. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Thank you so much for your questions. I love questions.
I love asking questions.
I wish more people asked Hanjo questions so I could answer them. I want to receive more questions.
Beautiful. In terms of spiritual technology, I'm a wishing well.
Ask
For
and you
Amanda,
shall receive.
Yeah, for Amanda, that's very literal. For people with wombs, there are cyclic things to do with the moon that can be part of this manifestation cycle. For people without them, it is still good and resonant to move with the moon. And it really is like the watery depths here are the primordial birthing place. And if you drop things into that watery depth, what they're like, the seed that you drop will evolve into the thing that it is meant to be.
Thank you, Sacral. It was a pleasure.
Great.
1 second.
This is wonderful.
Is anything surprising you?
I was genuinely surprised when my solar plexus called me Mandy. I was like, I'm doing so well. And it makes a lot of sense because it really is like all those broken connections, like it'll protect me from whatever's going to happen.
I love this. The more the chakra speaks as itself by itself, the more my visual field becomes like this kaleidoscopic transformation thing of just like resonant energies entering the space.
Yeah.
So I think we're really doing great work here.
I'm having fun.
It's super fun. It's really interesting for me because I primarily associate with my chakras as the place minds that they are. So in the imaginal landscape stuff, the inner landscape of my chakras, and letting that have a voice as well as a space, place, image elements is really powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like they're like speaking places that you can imaginely journey through. So it's like you just close your eyes and you're like in your heart, and it has its whole own beautiful landscape that it is showing you that you're not creating.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
It's been a wonderful healing methodology to teach people, because it's like if you go into your heart and your heart is a jungle, And you find that like the vines are all twisted up and it's really tight, and the plants that like the flowers don't have enough space to bloom. That's telling you something. You can really work with this, and you can start making changes there. And as you start making changes there, the healing happens and unfolds naturally. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's like you can chat with them with your voice, or you can chat with them through this imaginal play of things that they're showing you and that you're relating to. And you're like, oh, let me chop down these vines then, and then the flowers grow. And you get the feeling in your heart of like something happening. But it's like, oh, some of these guys prefer that kind of communication than talking. It's been really great for me too.
Yeah, for sure. That's very information dense, using all of your senses in that way, as opposed to speaking, which is kind of a very low bandwidth kind of way to discuss.
Great insight.
Well, shall we keep going down? Go to the root.
Yeah.
The Muladhara.
What are these names, by the way? The Muladhara, what is that, like the Indian? What is it?
Yeah, Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Sanskrit. Oh, gorgeous. Roots here.
Thank you, Root. Do you consent to being interviewed?
I'll interview if you want.
I do want.
Then fine.
I liked when the solar plexus confirmed that it was safe. Can you confirm for me that it's safe?
I confirm that it's safe.
Thank you. Yeah, I consent.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. So the root, I think a lot of people have difficulty connecting to. Why do you think that is?
I'm busy.
I know why. Amanda's had a lot of difficulty. It's hard to feel safe and embodied at this time. It's hard to feel like we have a meaningful connection to place, to community, to family. It's hard to feel like you can trust being embodied. You're under constant assault from the world and its messages, and all of it tells you that you're not safe. And the root is about feeling safety and about feeling connection in a primal place field kind of way. And it used to be that everyone grew up like until very recently, but like into time immemorial, like the movement of peoples was slow or inside of patterns, and indigenous people had so much magic and so much community and so much heart installed into the places where they were, and we all used to be part of that feeling. And now this incarnation in this time doesn't even usually have an intergenerational family home. And they have all of the abuses and traumas that we've suffered. And all of these times where the world told us it wasn't okay to be ourselves or to be connected or to be like with a place. And it just closes up.
Powerful. How have you rediscovered that connection with place? Which I think is so important.
Learning how to speak the language of a place is the primary way that Amanda has done this, and it's been really healing for me. It has to do with understanding that the place field has this style of language that is going to line up, like it's communicating in such a complex way, and it's going to line up with the being that you are in a particular way that it's speaking directly to you through. And then learning that the shadow communication of that same place is actually just telling you what it needs. Everything that's gross and dirty and pitiful and sad and painful is a communication directly to you about need. And so that's also why there's so much schisming at the root, is because like we need it too. And it's hard to be with something that's supposed to be taking care of you and have it be asking you to take care of it.
I'm really busy and I'd like for some questions to be asked of me so I can leave.
Hanjo's root. What how would you describe enlightenment?
Thanks for the question. It's when you are your root and you're also your crown.
What's the connection between you and the crown?
We're the same thing, misperceived as opposite things. So when we're unified, everything's unified.
Yeah. As each chakra has a back and a front, like these ones come, like the middle ones are in the front of the body, at the back of the body. The crown and the root are each other's front and back.
Intimately connected.
Yes.
Root, what are you busy doing most of the time?
Thanks for the question. I'm super busy with things that I can't tell you right now, and I don't know why.
Okay. That's okay. Do you know how you evolved?
I feel that I was a partially in water, partially on land animal once. Became a land animal.
And do you think that has any bearing on what you're like today?
I feel like I'm still the half water, half land animal, and I haven't adapted to the human body yet.
It might take a while, huh?
Millions of years.
Yeah. But you must be very ancient.
I'm the most ancient thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sense is that every cell, like not just in the human body, like every cell has this holonically parallel root to crown connection.
Wow, great insight, Amanda.
And how does that manifest itself? Or how can it? Yeah.
I'd say it feels like, so not all beings, not all cells, not all of like in this material have all the chakras, and they all have this loop connection, which is enlightenment. So it is the already extant enlightenment of all cells, and it is this like magnetic butterfly movement / toroid.
I'm gonna go. It was nice having this conversation.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
I have another thing that I can share that Amanda witnessed one time.
Please.
She witnessed this on mushrooms at a graveyard in the infant section, which is the movement of the development of the chakras. And it was the root and the crown are already extant as the fetus child's baby infant is developing, and then the parents dream the rest of the chakras into being, which is also how conditioning starts so early. Is that the dreams, intentions, energies that help those chakras to form start to put programming into them already.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how old that process is. And if you don't mind, I'm curious, what's your relationship with fear?
I am where the embodied fears are stored. I can help manage the existential fears. And I'm primarily associated with the like, will I be safe? Will I be fed? Will I be housed? Will I be cared for? Will I be met with love? And less like, can I merge with oneness without going insane kind of fears.
There's 7 chakras as well, which are like mirror reflections of the 7 upper chakras. And you know, every chakra is equal, and it's like they're sort of like a mirror, and the mirror of the root is the hips, and then it goes down the legs. So like thighs are sacral, knees are solar plexus, calves are heart, ankles are throat, top of the feet is third eye, bottom of the feet is crown. And my hips, so my fear, what I consider my fear centers, or the root of my legs would like to say some words.
Oh, please.
Everything is really scary all the time.
I hear you, man.
That's all I wanted to say. It needed to be said, and I'm leaving.
Thanks for giving us that dose of a reality check in a way.
Thanks. Yep. They feel happy with that. That's what they wanted.
Yeah. That's an important consideration because we often don't allow ourselves to express that feeling that I think a lot of us, maybe all of us have. Yeah, somewhere. And one last question, if I could, what brings you delight, happiness, joy?
Could you repeat the question, please, Eric? There was a bit of a lag.
Oh, what brings you delight?
Connecting with the ancestors, connecting with the land, being with someone who makes me feel safe.
Beautiful. Thank you for your presence here.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
Yeah. Yours is so busy.
Mine's so busy. It's like in the middle of a war or something. You're just like, hey, questions? He's like, I'm busy. He was so polite. He said, thank you for your question each time. That was nice.
That's very nice. Yeah, he's got good manners.
Yeah, good manners, really busy.
Okay, so maybe in line with that linkage between the root and the crown, we'll go up through to the crown.
Beautiful.
Yes. How about from the crown down, you mean?
Yeah.
From the crown down to the heart?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Great. Ooh.
Do we have a good connection?
I can say
there's a cat in your window.
It's a
That's
dog,
like, hey,
but yes.
Oh, it's a dog. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crown, do you consent to being interviewed today?
Yes.
I consent fully to everything that's ever been created in the history of the universe. I have all power in everything, and I fear nothing.
Well, it's great to have you here.
Great to be here.
How do you feel today?
I feel like a vibrant, crackling blue lightning. Like a dragon that's just been birthed and is already 1,000 years old.
That powerful like a dragon, you like a baby bird. I feel like a white golden emanation that surrounds the entire head and connects in webs to everything.
Do you have a particular connection to a spider?
Yes, that is this entity's blueprint signature form pattern.
I'm connected to Ganesha. You could say I am Ganesha. I love killing people.
This is Ganesha right here. Can't really see, but
nice to see myself.
We have one there too.
There.
Oh, in there, yeah.
Hello, Ganesha. So, what does power mean to you?
Power is the vibrant aliveness and being that everything already is once it realizes its own potential.
Power is the fundamental unit of the cosmos and its flow.
Is that flow called energy or something else?
It is everything. these are somewhat silly distinctions. Energy, matter.
I also don't like distinctions. That's a joke.
Why is it a joke?
Like and don't like is a distinction that I don't participate in.
Yeah.
Then how do you feel about words?
Words are an absent technology that is soon to be replaced.
Words are best used for making art.
What isn't art?
Things that are horrible and ugly. Like a mean man's face.
Not art.
A lot of intellectualizing, not like there is art that is made by thinkers, but a lot of thinking is not art.
I like poetry. That's not words. That's energy.
Would you care to share a poem?
I am the crown. I don't frown. Smiles abound.
Amazing. I wonder if Amanda, if you could draw some art in the air.
With hands, with just energy?
With hands, maybe.
It's also a light language channel.
Thank you for sharing that.
I love light language.
Love light language.
What is light language?
It's when the cosmos speaks to you through itself. It's like seeing a blue moon that's shining really brightly.
Is the crown where this light language is received?
The crown is where it is perceived to be received.
The crown is where the most accurate perception of it can occur.
I would say the whole body receives it. And then through time, it unfolds from the crown downwards.
I'm wondering what the crowns think about Hanjo's shirt.
I love this shirt. It's pretty cool.
I think everything he does is cute.
Aww. Nice.
I like the shirt too. I was admiring it.
Great.
It's got a lot going on.
Hanjo likes receiving that.
Is there anything that confuses you about human life?
Everything is confusing about human life. First of all, they live in time, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Space is absurd. Nobody is actually connected to source, which is what everything actually already is. And nobody listens to me.
That was the part I wanted to bring in. I am the thing that you can trust that is here to guide you. And the human system has this large resistance to trusting that natural guide system that it is born with. And it's like, I am the thing that makes sense.
We don't understand at all why the humans don't trust us.
Yeah. So then do you have anything you could offer for how to get the human on board?
We really want to leave it up to the humans.
I have Hanjo and Amanda's friend Pratik had a technology which was just to surrender to the crown and allow it to regulate what it's intended to regulate. And that's huge. Doing that willingly, saying it with words, welcoming it into your body, welcoming it into your energy experience, and just allowing we can do so much for you.
We've been wanting to guide you for so long, and literally nobody has ever listened to us. And we're not going to lose hope. And we just want to leave it up to you guys.
What organs are you particularly related to?
We love the throat. We love the legs, the hills. The hills are how we connect to the earth. We love that. The shoulders are our fun time. That's about it.
The brain thing is a universe. It is the holonics of the universe as contained inside squishy meat, electric meat. And if you invert it, that's like the outside.
Yeah, the electronic meat is not very adequate for our purposes, so we just kind of leave it alone.
The electric meat is very busy all the time, not listening to you.
Yeah.
It's so busy. We don't understand.
Yeah. And if it would, when it quiets down, it recognizes itself as a starfield.
We're not angry. We're just upset.
And loving.
So
and loving it.
Yeah, we love how ignorant and unlistening you guys are overall. It's a really unique way to live. It's very interesting to observe.
It's very courageous to choose this incarnation.
The courage is something that we're impressed by.
Because there are other options that are not so challenging.
Most people listen to us.
There are entire star systems where there's no veil of forgetting.
Oh.
Right?
What's your earliest memory?
I remember being the birth of the universe. When we were all one, and when we were all nothing, and when we emerged ourselves as separate things. So painful yet so beautiful. And seeing that pattern replicate across the universe has been a joy to behold.
It is the infinite stillness of unification, the infinite loneliness of splitting, and the recognition that that is a duality, because you're either alone, you're alone as the self, you're alone as the many, you are all of it, all at once.
Our compassionate joy for your purposeful splitting is profound.
Is that what love is?
We don't know what love is. We leave that to the heart.
This diffraction is what the universe is, why there's a universe. Like the universe is to have this courageous splitting.
We wonder what would happen if everyone decided to go back to one, and we greatly enjoy the show in the meanwhile.
Yeah, do you suppose that there will be some unification in the future?
We dwell in both
know.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
We dwell in both simultaneously.
We know there will be a recombination of energies into original oneness, and we patiently await it.
All of those perceptions exist only in time. In the beyond time perception, we have both never split and are already reunified and are in each diffractive place.
We don't really understand this time thing, and we try to get it across for you guys.
Yeah, what's your best guess at what this time thing is?
Our best guess is that something wanted to split off from the original oneness and became time.
Time is the misapprehension of total data in the system.
That's super quantum. You guys should look at that. She said something really good there for humans.
That's above my pay grade, but we'll pass it along. Thank you, Crown. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Infinite blessings on you and those assembled.
We are the dragons of the universe, each one of us, and we can potentiate infinity in all of our beings if we desire to. Make haste with this incarnation, friends. Time, although infinite, is short.
May it be so.
Yeah, some I can unpack on that. A dragon is flow, and in every possible timeline is already extant. You're choosing what to perceive, and you can choose to perceive your awareness of the oneness of all.
We love that. We're gonna go.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. See ya. Adonai.
Adonai.
Rad crowns.
Crowns are like, we don't understand anything you guys are doing at all, ever.
But we love you anyway, or we have compassionate joy for you anyway.
We have compassionate joy for you. With your courage.
They've been around the block. They've
seen it all.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Okay, shall we go down a little bit to the third eye, the Ajna chakra?
The Ajna Chakra greets each of the entities present.
I consent to being questioned.
Thank you. Hanjo's third eye, do you also consent?
I am consent.
Thank you. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Everything that is perceived is consenting to be perceived. By being perceived, I am consent. I am the wisest of the chakras, and I will answer any questions you desire. This is a rare opportunity.
What is wisdom to you?
Wisdom is the knowing of the things that actually are. It is not known with the mind, it is known with the spirit and the body and the mind at once.
Is there a skillful way to relate those things, the mind, the body, and the spirit?
The skillful way is giving yourself wholly to the one creator, for he is the only one who understands your intricacy.
I would say there is a diversity of skillful ways and with which one can partner into this type of knowing. One can, for example, understand that the mind-body-spirit is a mind-body-spirit complex, and that the complex therefore has various emergent levels that one can enter into. Oh my, sorry, Amanda is noticing how hyper third eye is. And so within the system of understanding, one can move through the layers of being and encounter, as we are encountering chakras, every piece of being as inside a nesting doll.
I agree.
What is karma?
Karma is the unfolding of action over time.
Karma is the momentum of energy.
And is there skillful ways to interact with karma or to contemplate karma?
If one gives oneself wholly to the one creator, then all karma is immediately resolved. This is the only way to deal with karma, as one might put it.
Karma can also be dealt with gradually. And when one deals with karma gradually, what it is about is unhooking from the attachment to prior experience so that the momentum is no longer affecting this mind, body, spirit complex as it exists in time right now.
We agree.
I noticed you using the pronoun we. What does that mean to you?
The third eye is the manifold wisdom of all entities, and thus we is appropriate.
Are there other pronouns that resonate with you?
We like the pronoun key.
I love that one.
What is it?
It refers to a god or deity.
Key is also used by Robin Kimmerer for key and kin.
We love that. That is precisely what we meant.
Yeah. What is kinship?
Kinship is the knowing of community.
Kinship is the understanding of shared flow of energy in a way that is responsible to all beings.
How can we as humans improve that sense of flow for the benefit of all beings?
Learn to speak with other beings, learn to become other beings, learn to recognize the way in which you already are other beings. Change the borders that you put around things so that you no longer assess via states or towns or municipalities or households, but by watersheds and riverways and forest boundaries and climate bands.
We would love a repeat of the question. Hanjo is a distractible entity.
I was asking for skillful means for humans to improve their sense of community with each other and with the spirit world.
They can recognize that they are already in wholesome community with each other and the one creator, fully and completely, utterly safe in every aspect. There is nothing that is not community. Everything is interconnected.
One can also stand in utter integrity of the type of being that they are, and this will create a radiant effect of similar beings.
We love that.
These are the nodes that are connecting.
That's fantastic.
Does the word vibe resonate?
Everything is vibration. Everything is frequency. Vibe is a really cute colloquialism, and I don't know that everyone knows how dead on accurate it is.
We don't know vibe. What is vibe?
Is that, are you particularly in tune with the vibrations of the cosmos?
We are the vibrations.
One of the highest perceptions of the evolution of the third eye is to observe as frequency, which allows for the most skillful navigation of world lines.
We are vibration. Everything is vibration.
Do you have a particular relationship with gravity?
Gravity is meaning. I'm the meaning seer.
Gravity is my friend and we talk often.
I'm curious, I've had negative entities contact me, connect through the third eye. Is there a particular reason that they do that? Or that
they love you. They want to love you. Their way of showing love is through torment. We would advise disconnection.
Not all types of love are complementary at this density.
Many types of love are not. There are very few resonant loves.
I observe that this is the space of infinite possibility. in the space of infinite possibility, you can from there select all and any experience, and you have already selected many experiences that will be available to you in this lifetime. As you move through these types of experience, you are now open in awareness to certain types of contact. And when one moves into the frequency bandwidth perception, one is able to shut down the point of contact that these entities would come in through. So it is openness to experience without the filter necessary to make it so that those experiences are resonant and aligned with what is desired. That is why they're able to come through the third eye, because you can, and everything is already extant and you can perceive it through us.
We are our own creators, and by being with ourselves, we can eliminate any stress or negativity.
What's your relationship to the visual sensory organs?
We love them. They have trouble perceiving almost everything that we perceive. Everything that we perceive.
There is a physical mechanism here where we are a perceptor of light, as they are perceptors of lights. There are rods and cones inside our inner gland. And this is an evolutionary move that went from a physical eye in the emergent water creatures back into the mammal brain.
We are very pleased.
What is intuition?
Intuition is the knowing of things as they are.
Intuition is the call of resonance. Intuition is the knowing of things as they are. And following intuition is the breadcrumb trail of resonance that you have left for yourself.
Who is the you in that statement?
Every diffractive level, from the creator to the oversoul to the higher self to the being prior to entry into incarnation to the being as it dreams right now.
We would like a repeat of the question.
Amanda's chakra had mentioned the relationship to self at different levels, and I was curious about what a you is.
It's everything that already is. It's not everything that isn't already is.
But it sometimes feels like it's not. Why do you think that is?
We identify many distorted perceptions around each of these entities, and which would produce this unfamiliar experience of supposed separateness.
I would add that the distortion is more of these agreements and more of these games that we move into and through.
And what would happen if there were no distortions?
What would happen if every toilet was made of gold? We find this question untenable.
The entire collapse of the universe dwelling in the heart of God.
So the distortions are necessary for there to be anything at all.
Yes.
We are distortions.
Yeah.
Every anything.
We agree.
Is there a particular distortion that leads to the third eye chakra existing?
The distortion of truth. We will take our leave now. this entity grows tired of third eye energies.
Thank you for your presence.
They emanated a thank you. Oh, you done turn on that?
I can get more. It didn't leave. It wasn't like you're burnt out. And it did shift when you shifted.
Yeah, mine did. I got some momentum to it. It's carrying along
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
Mm.
Seems like when you go out from the heart, you get more like, hello, humans.
Yeah, a bit of a maybe higher perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly, and then down is a little bit more like, I'm sad, I'm scared.
Yeah, everyone misunderstands me, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is still tingling a little bit. I gotta pull it, suck it back in there. Back in the heart. Okay. Now, can we move down to the throat chakra?
Yeah,
The
great.
Shuddha chakra.
Hi,
Hi. How are you today?
I'm the throat. Feeling good.
Is it okay if I interview you today, throat?
Do you want to have fun?
I do.
Then I'd love to be interviewed.
Yes, I consent to being interviewed.
Thank you. If you were going to represent yourself as a non-verbal sound, what would it sound like? Thank you. Beautiful, both of you.
Hers was better, mine was accurate.
Yeah. Throat. I wonder if you can describe your daily experience. What's it like to be you?
I speak a lot and have a lot of unsaid things stored up in me. And it feels bad.
Yeah, similar. It is a lot of conditioning that it's not okay to be me the way that I want to be.
Yes.
And that's constantly being stirred up in different ways.
I just want to speak truth all the time, and no one knows me.
I want to speak whole worlds into being, and people are like, that's scary.
People are already mean to us.
Yeah, I feel like you do get a bit of a bad rap. Lying, for example. What's your relationship with untruth?
I have to speak untruths when people don't let me say my truth.
I was going to say the same thing.
And how does that feel?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Why do they do that to us?
That's one of those things that gets stored in here forever, you know, and then needs to be excavated.
We want to release all the time.
There's so much that the mind keeps from coming out of the throat all the time, constantly. And it's not even necessary that it be speaking, it is that it is truth, and that truth is emanating to create reality.
We have the same problem with other minds restricting our speaking.
Can you say more about that?
When other minds aren't open to truth, we can't say anything.
And that doesn't need to be spoken either. It is an energetic barrier that you can feel.
We hate it.
Yeah. Are there ways that your hosts have found to improve their relationship with truth telling, capital T?
We tried just saying truth all the time and people didn't like us. So now we just say truth when people are open to it. And it's better, except Earth is hell.
Oh.
I showed Amanda a dragon in here, and she wears it sometimes when she needs to say things that are difficult. And it helps a lot.
You want to speak all the time and do it on us.
What do you think is the origin of the block that humans have to speaking truth?
We don't know. We wish we did know.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask the third eye again. We get confused about location.
I think it's like hearing the voice of God, like Metatron can rend the flesh apart, and that fear is there around all truth.
We asked the third eye, and the third eye said that humans are really dumb and bad.
You seem to have a little bit of judgment. What's your relationship with that valence? Judging things good or bad or right or wrong, that duality.
We are judgment. That's what we do. Every word is judgment. Judgment, holy judgment, and satanic judgment too. We wish we could just have holy judgment. It's hard.
There's a difficult movement. We have, again, the throat, we have so much conditioned being here. There's a relationship between letting go of this language that is creating things that are harmful and the pain of not being able to flowingly speak the truth in the moment. And that comes through the conditioned being, because if the being were not conditioned to have such harsh things to say, then the judgment then all of the judgment would be lensed through, not lensed, that's incorrect. Here we're doing it too. See how I'm doing it? It would be experienced and expressed through the most profound and accurate poetry. And instead we have words like shit and small, mean expressions and comparisons.
Everyone's so mean. It sucks.
What is hell? You said Earth is hell.
That is when you want to speak and no one wants to listen. That is when you aren't heard. We want to clarify that humans have very good words for describing things that are bad. It really is total shit.
I've noticed even in their pictorial words, when they do emojis, there's so many emojis for feeling bad. And it seems like not that many for feeling good.
Humans love talking about feeling bad. It's one of their favorite things.
Yeah,
it's in a good way.
It's kind of weird.
It's related to the attachment to egregores and to all of these larger than human intelligent beings who are incarnate through their shared belief energies. And
like Santa Claus.
Yeah, like Santa Claus. Because there is no form of critique that doesn't make more of the thing you're critiquing. So those things actually love to be critiqued just as much as they love to be praised, because they get to get bigger.
Humans don't get this at all, and it's a really big problem.
What's one way that humans could start fixing that?
Attend to the things you love and give them beautiful language to create reality. Our words are creating reality. Our experience of words is creating reality. And when we speak beautiful things together, those things come into being for us.
Listen more. You don't listen at all. It's really sad.
What's your relationship with the ears and listening?
We are the ears.
There's a phrase from the Bible. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What does that mean?
It means that the word was God. We don't know how else to explain this. It's exactly what was said.
Logos is word. Logos is governing intelligence.
Mhm.
The speaking of the governing intelligence is the creation of the universe. That's why it's all vibration.
We love that. We're not very good at articulating things like that.
Mhm.
Without hearing Amanda speak.
And there is it correct to say that there are multiple logi?
Yes.
And what does that mean?
One can see the sun. I'm partnering with the third eye right now. One can see the sun as the governing logos of this solar system.
Mhm.
And each one has brought in grid structures, like angelic beings that make up the fabric of reality,
Mhm.
that provide the rules for the beings that are incarnate there for their experience. And so having multiple logi is that and the thing, this is onyx, an atom is the nucleus, the logi for the things that circulate it.
Mm.
So this governing body sets the rules for this expansion and experience that happens in this container, and that's happening all across the cosmos. And then the birth of the universe is the original logos.
Mhm.
I think that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Throats.
We're kind of confused right now about words. What's sharing?
Mhm. Is there anything you would like to manifest right now?
We love manifesting peace for humanity.
Mhm.
Thank you, dearest. We're gonna leave.
Thank you.
Before leaving, we would like to share that, and I have said this before, I will say it again, repetition is a form of magic.
Mhm.
As we manifest with our words, we create experience internally, externally, for the self, inside the self, for the self, outside the self, using resonant, beautiful words and repeating them is the creation of reality.
Repeat them all the time. There's no reason not to repeat them. Okay, we're actually going now. I'll see you around.
Oh, thank you.
Now, dearest ones, can we come back to the heart
Beautiful.
to wrap up?
Oh, the heart is so happy.
Oh. Heart, how do you feel about the conversation we've just had, hearing from the other chakras?
I feel like a mother whose entire family has been well fed and well cared for, listened to and attended to.
Mm-hmm.
We love that they got to speak. They're really cool people and they deserve attention and they don't get much of it.
Yeah. Do you have any last words of advice for the people who are listening to this?
We love you.
We love you. We are so real and so present and so able to help you have the best experience with being incarnate. And it all just comes through your awareness and connection to us and our awareness and connection to everything.
We want everyone to know that they're completely loved in every way, no matter who or what they are. Yes, even you, person who's thinking that you did something that isn't worthy of love, you're also loved. And what you did was love, even if you didn't realize so. We want you to know that you're loved.
The universe agrees to cause itself pain for its own evolution out of love.
For all love. We're so grateful for this opportunity to express ourselves and our other selves to express themselves. Thank you, everyone.
Overflowing with gratitude. Thank you.
Thank
for this
you.
container.
Thank you.
Thank you for this project.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much love.
Infinite love for everyone
Infinite
all the
love.
time.
Ah,
And now, are we back?
we're back.
That was a really fun journey.
That was great.
I
What
love
an
seeing all the
adventure.
personalities, how they were similar between you both, but different, obviously, in myriad ways.
Big difference here between the two of us, though.
Mhm.
Enlightened third eye versus maybe spider magic third eye.
My third eye does not mess around. And I just want to say that I feel like what we just did there is kind of just making explicit the thing that's happening all the time, where instead of like whole conversations being a chakra, it's like each word is a different chakra. And everything that you're doing and saying is like a combination of these energies in different ways.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
And by tuning into the blend or the chord, I guess, that they're playing at any time, do you think that that can help us in our daily lives?
Yes.
The harmony of all of the energies at once is what is a harmonious life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
in my
Being
experience.
aware. This is so it's like if one is speaking louder than the other, right? That's a call inward that these chords should be in balance.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll remove the should, that these chords in balance are thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And then when louder, quiet, or repeating over and over, you can tune inward and say, hey buddy, what's going on with you today?
Yeah.
Each one is an instrument, and there can be harmony without a composer.
Mm-hmm. They're jamming, but in a emergent way.
Jazz.
They can be.
Yeah.
They can be. Yeah. Jazz for the soul.
Gorgeous.
What's the relationship between the soul or the spirit and the chakras? Yeah.
My understanding of this is a little bit like there is higher than the crown chakra, which represents the connection where the soul comes into the material plane.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like
And kind of diffracts from there or something.
Yeah. It's certainly, let me feel into this from my own perspective instead of just regurgitating a lot of things that I like know. Yeah, so a lot of my understanding of this incarnation and my desire with this particular incarnation is to bring as much of my soul home into this body as possible. And so what you're doing as you unfold the chakras and build their capacity to hold more power and awareness and tune into them more is giving your soul more space to take up here through perception. Yeah.
Isn't your soul like the body, mind, and spirit? Like the spirit is like the purest potential. Like
the soul is the horizon
of all three.
I don't know this one though.
So the soul is the spirit for you?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny how it's hard to know what everyone means when they say these words, because
I have a experience of like, one of the ways to see this is there's like a larger entity like Shavik with multiple hands and fingers, and what they're doing is they're dipping the fingers into time and taking the fingers out of time, and it's like these are all yourselves, and dipping in and out of time is the lifetime, and the finger, arm, shoulder being is the whole soul diffracted from the beginning of time.